Hello students, today we will see an important and a basic concept of the chemistry, that is the classification of the elements. So before discussing the classification in the elements, so firstly we will see what is an element, right? So an element is nothing but it is a substance which we cannot broken down. Okay. So these elements are nothing but these are the substances which we cannot broken down into substances, other substances, either by using physical means or either by using chemical also. Okay, so elements are the substances which we cannot broken down into other substances, either by applying physical or chemical forces also. So that type of substance are nothing but elements. So now coming to the classification of the elements, these elements we can categorize mainly into 4 types. So that is metals, non-metals, metalloids, and finally noble gases. These are the 4 different types of elements: metals, non-metals, metalloids and noble gases. So firstly we will discuss regarding the metals. So metals are having the following characteristic properties, that is they are having lustrous in nature. They are having the main property, that is lustrous property. So lustrous means shining. So that is the reason if you take any metals like gold or silver or any metals, they are having the shining in nature. That is the reason our gold chains or gold rings. So as gold is having the lustrous property, so they are having shining in nature. So metals are having the property of lustrous. And coming to the second property, they are present in solid state at room temperature. That means almost all the metals are present in the solid state. But still we are having some exemptions that we can see in later. Okay. So metals are present in solid states at the room temperature. And even they are having malleability property. So malleability means the ability of a substance to beaten into thin sheets. To beaten into thin sheets. That means if you make any substance in the form of thin sheets, then we can say that property as malleability. So these metals are having malleability in nature. So for example, if you take sweets, on the sweets we are having one silver color layer will be there, no, silver foil. Silver is a metal and it is having malleability in nature. That is the reason we can make as a thin sheets. And also this is having ductility nature. Ductility. So ductility means the ability of a substance to drawn into wires. That means we have to make that metal in the form of wires. That is the reason if you take electrical wires, that is copper wires or aluminum wires, anything. So we can see that metals are available in the form of wires. So the ability of a substance to make in the form of wires is called ductility. And even if you take another property, that is sonorous. Sonorous is another property of the metal. Sonorous sound. Okay, sonorous sound. Sonorous sound is nothing but a particular metallic sound. Sonorous property is nothing but a particular metallic sound. For example, if you take our school bells or temple bells, if you just touch it, it can create a big sound, right? So that is the reason our school bells or temple bells are made up of metals but not non-metals. So these metals are having sonorous property and they are having high melting point and high boiling point. So the melting point as well as the boiling point for the metals are very high. As we said, most of the metals are present in solid state. So for melts that solid, it needs high temperatures. So the metals are having high melting point as well as high boiling point. Coming to the exemptions, So these are the main properties of the metals, but in that also exemptions are there. So that is, the metals are solid in nature, but the exemption is mercury and gallium. Mercury and gallium, these are also metals, but these are present in the liquid state. Mercury and gallium are present in the liquid state. And if you take another one, that is malleability and ductility, metals are having these properties. But if you take zinc, it is not malleable as well as it is not ductile. So zinc is not malleable as well as ductile. And if you take another thing, that is metals are having high melting point. But if you take sodium or potassium or even lead, so like that some metals, they are having low melting point. Okay, this is also one exemption. So metals, lustrous property, solid, malleability, they are having ductility nature, sonorous property, high melting point and boiling point. Exemptions are mercury, gallium are present in liquids. So zinc is a not malleable and non-ductile. Sodium, potassium, lead, etc. they don't have high melting points. They are having low melting points. Now moving on to non-metals. So quite opposite to the metals. Okay. So in coming to non-metals, they are non-lustrous in nature. That means they don't have shining property, and we are not able to make it in the form of thin sheets. So that is the reason they are non-malleable. Even we can't make it in the form of wires. So they are non-ductile. And almost all non-metals are present in gaseous state, but some are present in brittle solids. So brittle means ready to break. Okay. So it doesn't take too much of efforts to break it into pieces. So they are present in gaseous state. They are brittle solids, and they don't have sonorous property. They don't make a huge sound. Okay, the sound will come from the non-metals is very less, and they don't have high melting point and as well as boiling point. Simply you can say low melting point and low boiling point. And coming to electricity also, if you take metals, these are good conductors of electricity, but non-metals are poor conductors of the electricity. That means they don't pass the electricity to pass through it. And even we are having exemptions. So coming to exemption, these non-metals are present in gaseous state or brittle solid. The exemption is bromine. So bromine is a liquid non-metal. So bromine is present in the liquid state. Very important concept even in the IIT also. So liquid metals are, you can note it down. So liquid metals are mercury and gallium, and liquid non-metals is bromine. And one more exemption is if you take graphite. Graphite is an allotropic form of the carbon, which is a very good conductor of heat and electricity. Just now we said non-metals are poor conductors, but if you take this graphite, it is a very good conductor of heat as well as the electricity. Okay. Now moving on to the metalloids. So these metalloids are another type of classification of the elements, and it is having the properties that is both metals as well as non-metals. Metalloids are a type of elements which is having both metals property as well as non-metals property. So examples are boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, polonium. Okay, so these are some examples, and even tellurium. These elements can show both the properties of metals as well as non-metals. How can we say that these are having both metal nature as well as non-metal nature? Means if you consider boron as an example, in fact boron is a non-metal. So boron is a non-metal, but it can conduct the electricity very good. Actually conductivity of the electricity comes under metals, but these borons can conduct electricity. So that is the reason boron, as it is having non-metal nature as well as conduction of electricity, which is a metal property. It is having both metal and non-metal. That is the reason we consider these elements as the category of the metalloids. And the last classification, that is noble gases. So these noble gases are having different names. That is, we can call noble gases as rare gases or inert gases, zero group elements, or even 18th group elements also. So many names are there. Noble gases, also called as rare gases, which is also called as inert gases, zero group elements, or 18th group elements also. So these noble gases present in very small amounts in the air. Very small. So that is the reason we call these gases as rare gases. So rare means what? Availability is very less, right? So that is the reason these gases are present in very less quantity. That is the reason noble gases are also called as rare gases. And even one more thing is, noble gases, they do not react with other substances. They do not react. Inert, they don't react. So that's the reason we will call these gases as noble or inert. They won't react with other elements. And examples we can consider is helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. So these are the elements which are examples for the noble gases. So finally, so this is the classification of the elements. Thank you.